Maternal Instinct, Chapter 4. The Los Theminos Sports Museum is usually a very active place. People come from miles around to gaze at the many exhibits of famous sports equipment, photos of history-making plays, and lifelong mannequins of Hall of Famers. Normally, fathers take their sons to bonding experience over all the sports monuments, which play on the TVs throughout the building. There are even the cases when said Hall of Famers drop by for autograph sessions or chat with the fans. Of course, all of this takes place in the day while the museum is open. Late at night, the halls are devoid of any people, save for the lowly night guards who roam the darkened halls looking for any signs of trouble. Tonight, they were unfortunate enough to find some. At first, they simply thought that one of the displays from the golf section had been knocked over, but they were quickly proven wrong when it dispelled the gas and knocked them out. Now, a lone figure made its way around the glass case in the golfing section, looking for one display in particular. When he found the object of his quest, he paused, and a smile spread across his red-bearded face in evil glee. "Look! Here we are!" The figure said in a thick Scots accent. "The golf clubs of old Randall Chinook are one of the best golfers of all time. Looks like you don't get the angel looking over your clubs now, do you, laddie?" "Well, I wouldn't say that exactly." A new voice spoke from the darkness. The intruder whirled around, golf bag slung over his shoulder, clanking noisily as he did so. He squinted his eyes into the darkened hallway to try to get a good look at whoever it was that spoke. "All right, come out whoever you are." "Who, me?" This time the speaker stepped out into the pale moonlight, provided by the skylight above them to reveal himself fully. It was a boy about 18 or so, dressed in a simple red t-shirt and faded loose-fit jeans with a brown suede jacket over his shirt. His brown eyes sparkled with confidence and a bit of mischief as he looked back at the thick Scottish man. "Guess I should introduce myself, huh? My name's Dave, and you're Dove Killigan, right?" "Aye," the fellow responded. "Just what are you doing here, Dave?" "Well, at the moment I'm talking to you, and hoping to convince you to just give up whatever you're here to do and walk away. Otherwise, things are going to have to get ugly." "Really? Are you planning on taking me in all by myself?" "No, I don't do a lot of fighting. Only a couple punches here and there. She, on the other hand—" At the mention of she, Killigan's body tensed. The only she-do-gooder he knew that would be willing to fight him was Kim Possible. But he had been so careful being quiet and unseen. There wasn't even anyone with a computer around to send a message to her website. How could she have known? Something else was off, too. That boy he came wasn't Possible's usual sidekick, was it? He did have blonde hair, but it seemed a little darker than he remembered. Plus, he was certain the buffoon's name wasn't Dave. It was something. Starting with an R. He was certain that... "Oh, come on!" "Why does no one remember the greatest opponent I've ever fought?" "Well, see, thank you. At least Monkey Fist knows me." "Oh, I've been complimented by a monkey!" Any further thoughts he had on the subject were lost when a sharp kick to his side sent him hurtling towards the floor. He groaned as he slid over the wax tile, and once he came to a stop, picked himself up, and he shook his head clear. "Oh, Lottie, now you ask for it at last. I'm going to—" He paused when he saw the girl standing for him. It was not. The girl standing there looked to be about Kim's age. She had dark, almost black-looking hair instead of Kim's bright red. She also seemed to be a little more conservative with her attire, as the naval blue top met with her magic khaki pants, covering the midriff Kim usually left bare. But the only things that this girl had come in with possible were the multi-pouch belt she wore around her waist, and the arrogant smirk on her face as she grabbing the line, retracted back into the device on her right forearm. "You're not impossible," Killigan muttered. "Who are you?" "Incredible. The girl that's about to kick your skirt-wearing butt," the girl replied. "First of all, it's not a skirt, it's a kid! Secondly, what is this? You're trying to become possible imitator or something." Jen balked at the comment and made a series of strangled, gurgling sounds as she clenched and unclenched her hands. "No!" she spat out famously. "This is why I hate out-of-towners. Look, I know Kim set the standard, and maybe she did inspire me. But she's not the only girl out there that can help people." Jen, you really think now's a good time to do this?" "He started it!" she replied, pointing to the now standing Killigan. "Yeah, he shouldn't have done that, I know, but—" Leslie Bond said, trying to draw his friend's attention to the matter at hand. "No! Just no! Just once I want to get recognized for my own merits instead of always being compared to Kim Possible! Jen, seriously, what? His response was simply pointing at the floor. As he followed his fingers, he saw a golf ball laying at their feet. Well, this itself would have been too odd given their surroundings. The fact that it started glowing did pique her interest. Since we remembered exactly what Killigan's filling stick was, a tap. Jump! They did just that, each jumping in an opposite to avoid the well-sized explosion. Dave was fortunate enough to land behind one of the display cases used as cover, but Jen luckily wasn't as good, so he landed out in the open with only dozens of golf dummies to keep her safe. They proved their effectiveness when another golf ball turned on them in all of this sawdust. Jen quickly found herself jumping, dodging, and flipping to avoid from joining the unfortunate displays. She was actually finding herself thankful she had experience with attacks like this. Still, she couldn't keep up the pace forever. Dave, a little help here! She called out as she rolled along the floor to avoid another explosion. Yes, sir, just give me a second here, he muttered as he searched for something that might help. Not surprisingly, all he could find around him was golfing equipment. With a shrug, he reached over and grabbed one of the clubs out of a dummy's hand. Jen, catch! He shouted before he threw the piece of equipment. Jen looked up in time to see the club flying towards her and catch it with her right hand. She blinked in confusion, then cast him an odd look, to which he merely struck back. Sighing, she held the club handle and waited for the next attack. It didn't last long as a golf ball bounced to a stop next to her feet within seconds. She reared the club back and swung as hard as she could, hitting the small white orb and sending it flying back to its master. It exploded midair and sent the demented Scotsman crashing to the ground. After he picked himself up, he gave her an impressed look. That's not bad, lassie. You ever considered going pro? Sorry, golf's not my thing. Besides, when I spend most of my time fighting wackos like you, who has time to learn sport? She quipped. Too bad. I would have invited you to play on my private golf course. Once I tore down a few buildings to make it, of course. But if you don't wanna... He dropped another ball onto the floor and reared back to take a swing. When he tried to bring the club back down, however, he felt it stop with a slight jerk. He looked over his shoulder and found Dave standing there on the other end. The boy smirked at him as Killigan tried to pull the club out of his hands. He growled when he found the job harder than he thought, placed both hands on his hand and was about to pull with all his might when his legs suddenly gave out. He crashed to the ground as he caught a brief glimpse of Jen standing behind him in a baseball slide pose. She jumped up as he hit the ground and pulled out a small silver ball from her pouch on the belt. She casually dropped it, and the instant it hit his chest, it unraveled into a metal rope that snaked around his body to tie up his arms and legs. He groaned as he flopped around like a fish out of water to free himself. Oh, I saw up his mattress, he muttered, turned his head away. It's a cute! Killigan shouted. It's disturbing! The blonde returned to his partner. You could have done that earlier. I was a little preoccupied avoiding all the exploding golf balls, Jen snapped. Well, could have done it when we first got here and saved yourself the trouble. Well, I got a little bit distracted. Because you mentioned the unmentionable name? I didn't say people couldn't mention it here, just that I would stop being compared to her. Just because we're both teen girls that save people doesn't mean we're exactly the same. She does her thing, I do my thing. It'd be nice if people recognized my thing a little more, is all. Face it, we work better in the low end of the saving people spectrum. All that glitz and publicity, well, this is not for us. Jen crossed her arms and gave him a sour look. If you're joking, then that's just cruel. But if you're being sarcastic, that's even worse, she snipped. Just saying. You know, I really like this idea. I mean, what if Kim's antics have inspired others? I mean, we know about Kim's little cousin, who also got inspired by her, but what about other teens who have her skills and her abilities? What about other teens who want to try to be who she is? I wonder, if there was a season 5, would that be an idea they could explore? Could have explored with Kim? Seeing Kim having to deal that her antics was creating copycats? Would she actually have to teach some of them how to better themselves? While at the same time kicking butt taking names? And will we still have Ron? I mean, granted, they're meant to be the OTP, but hey. His sentence went unfinished as he suddenly grabbed his head in pain. While the outside world only saw him holding the bridge of his nose and jerking about slightly. Inside his mind, clouds of pictures flashed by at blinding pace. He saw a run-down warehouse in another city. A pale-skinned woman with a small bulge in her stomach, strapped down to a table, screaming while a younger red hair fought for her life against Gray's creatures. The last image was of a demonic yellow face with blazing red serpentine eyes, grinning evilly. He let out a gasp when the visit finally passed and took a few steady breaths as he still rubbed his dropping head. When he finally forced his eyes open, he saw Jen looking at him with a worried, expectant look. So, what did you see? He swallowed before speaking. You know that day you always knew you would come? Yeah. Wait, do you mean... Yeah. Kim Possible's going to need our help. Shannon? Nah. Casey? Try again. What about Samantha? Nah. Brenda? Nah. Still like Shiki. We'll keep down the maybe pile. How about Cassie? How about we go back to the book instead of just randomly thinking up names? Shiko suggested as she opened up the big book of baby names. Fine. B. We'll start with that. How about Bot? Don't even think about finishing that name. Kid snarled. Famously, what surprised Shiko? She sighed when she realized what it was doing. Sorry, it's just that busy girl from school, the older woman ventured. That busy girl from school. Then, we'll definitely not be using with that used name. I'm sure there's something in here we can agree on. The teen hero nodded as he grabbed the other end of the book and started scanning through the list of names. Since Shiko was entering the 4th month of her pregnancy, she figured it was best that they started to think of names for their little girl. Shiko had been reluctant at first, saying it was too early to be thinking about stuff like that. There had been a prodding, she relented. Fortunately, that had been the last thing she agreed to. Like most of their conversations, it started out well enough, but quickly turned to a round of name-calling and hair-pulling. Luckily enough, they both mellowed out since the first naming session, but they still couldn't find one they agreed on. Kim suggested a way to combine the names to represent both parents, while Shigo really wanted something new. Kim's mother suggested using the baby name book, but that only seemed to lead more to arguing. Then they had been through at least twice already, still hadn't found the one they both liked, and it seemed the third time definitely wouldn't be the charm. So Kim sighed as she took another page turn. Look, why don't we go back to trying to find a good combination of our names? She asked. Shiki still sounds good to me. Shiko replied offhandedly. I'm not saying it's a bad name, it just doesn't feel right. There has to be some combination that sounds good to both of us. How about Kigo? Ooh, I love that one. Shigo snickered. Or we could go with the really obvious one, Kimgo. You don't have to be snotty about it. She replied irritably as he folded her arms over her chest. I'd like to see you come up with one better. Alright, how about... She closed her eyes and thought for a moment. Shim. Shim? Well, that might work. What if we change the E to an I? Shin? You really want to call her Shim? Just toying around with it. What if we drop part of the M? Shigo gave her a funny look, towards Kim's side. Make it an N. Shin. That's a nice ring to it. And I think it means new. The redhead replied, and then started flipping through the name book to come up with a ending. Well, I swear I heard that somewhere. Either way, I like it. What do you think? Shin, huh? Well, it does sound kind of good. And if anyone makes fun of her, that's exactly where we can kick them. Kim chuckled at that. I still think it has a nice ring to it. Shin Possible. Whoa. When did we decide to give her your last name? Well, we can't really call her Shingo now, can we? She paused to think about it for a moment. That's not your real last name, too, is it? I mean, I know you and your brothers all had a ghost suffix, but those are just superhero names, right? Shigo's eyes darted around nervously as she tried to think of a way out of the situation. Of course her name wasn't really Shigo, but if she told the younger woman her real name, not only would there be a constant fear of her laughing at it, but then she might talk about the rest of her family, and that was something she never liked doing. Come to think of it, you haven't told me anything about your family since you've been here. Damn it! Is he sinking too? Shigo cursed angrily. At last she said, Look, I told you, my home life is nothing I like talking about. Maybe one day I'll tell you about it, but for now, I gotta have some secrets, right? Kim gave her a cross look, but decided not to press the issue right now. She would learn all of the Pale Woman's secrets in time, though, she promised herself. Alright, fine, but if we're gonna play that game, then we're gonna use my last name. Fine. She got down beside and ran the name over her head a few times. Actually, Shin Possible does sound pretty good. So, you're admitting I'm right? Just this once. Don't let it go to your head. The teen hero faked innocence with a what me expression, That was quickly lost to a triumphant smirk. Shiko rolled her eyes and set aside the naming book and looked down at the bump in her stomach, which now had a name. Shin Possible. She was actually going to give birth to a possible. Here I thought this situation couldn't get any weirder, she mused. Just hope she has some of my features, so it'll be obvious she's my baby too. Don't think it's too much to ask to have some say in all this, right? Wait, who am I talking to? Are you alright? Kim asked, slightly concerned by the confused look in Shiko's face. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just rambling a bit in my head, the green-tinted woman replied. You don't seem like the rambling kind. I also don't seem like the kind to give birth to a possible baby, but here we are! Point. But he still seems kind of out of it. Shiko sidling back to the couch. Guess this whole thing's really starting to shake in. I know what you mean, Kim agreed, leaning against the couch as well. The birth date's getting closer all the time, and giving her a name just kind of makes things real. Yeah. Yeah. They then sat in silence as they each came to terms with the fact they would be very shortly co-mothers. Even as they'd been talking about planning since Shiko first came to Kim all these weeks ago, the fact that they finally had a name did seem to make it all the more real. Kim still had no idea how she was going to handle being a mother right before graduating from high school and what, if anything, to do about college. Nor did she know what she was going to do to pay for things on her end. She never really thought about getting an actual job before. The more she thought about it, the more she realized it wasn't just for her. She couldn't see herself being a 9-to-5 person. It was just too normal. Her only real skill was saving the world, and she couldn't change that, could she? No, it's just not right, she told herself. Maybe I could look to getting a position of global justice. That way I could save the world and not have to ask people I'm saving for money. That's slightly better. She still feels off now. Well, Kim, with her financial situation, Shiko was trying to figure out her living arrangements. She had decided a while ago to let Kim help raise the baby. Well, she wasn't sure how exactly that would work. She knew she wasn't going to stay in the possible household after giving birth. That had been agreed on from the start. She just didn't know where she wanted to live that was close enough to Kim to stop by, or vice versa. The pickings in Milton were surprisingly slim. Not that any of the houses and apartments offered were out of her price range. They just didn't seem to fit her. Then again, she never would have thought being a mother fit her either. In fact, she still wasn't used to the idea, but it was slowly growing on her. About as much as her belly did that each month. The thing that really scared her, though, was turning into a soccer mom. Obviously, she would never be a typical one, as nothing about this situation was typical. But falling into that kind of humdrum, boring suburban housewife routine made her really nervous. She didn't want that kind of life. She couldn't stand having that kind of life. She needed adventure, excitement, the feel of adrenaline rushing through her veins. But most of all, she really wanted to hit the girl sitting beside her, but not in a bad way. More of a sparring match than anything else. She just wanted to feel the excitement of fighting Kim Possible again. For her, it had always been the best part of Dragon's stupid schemes. The chance to fight the cheerleader again, and feel the thrill of going head-to-head with someone who was her equal. Of course, she would never admit to Kim, no matter how friendly they were these days. That was another thing that worried her. Even if she were able to get Kim to fight her again, would it be the same sense of urgency? Could a friendly sparring session feel all of a life and death struggle? Could Kim hold back now that Shiko was the mother to her child? More importantly, what exactly was Shiko going to do if Kim didn't want to fight her at all? The answers to these questions would have to wait, as Shiko was brought back to her reality by a high-pitched beeping coming from her right wrist. She held up the offending arm and turned off the alarm on her watch side. What was that? Kim asked. Just a reminder I had to go meet with Dr. Anderson today. Shiko told her plainly. When? She checked her watch again. About 30 minutes. Oh, man. Kim groaned as she smacked her own forehead. I can't believe I totally flaked on that. What? The other woman replied with a confused look. I promised Ron and Monique I'd meet them today at Buenos to go over some things for a science project today. In 30 minutes. Yeah, sorry. It's okay. I told you I don't need you to treat me like class. I can still take care of myself out there if I have to. I know. I just feel like I should go to more of these meetings. But with school and cheerleading and getting called away on missions, it's fine, Shiko said with a wave as he pulled herself off the couch. You'll think the next one. It's not like you can really do anything other than just stand there looking pretty anyway. Kim shuddered an odd look at the phrase, but shook it off and stood up as well. At least let me drive you to the hospital. Won't that make you late for your little clubhouse meeting? Shiga replied with a hint of trademark sarcasm. Nah, he'll be fine. Ron will probably just use the time to order an extra knockout or something. The old woman simply nodded before she left for her room to get the things she needed. When she came back, she found Kim holding the front door open with one hand outstretched to usher her through. Despite herself, Shiga grinned at the gesture, and after giving a knock bow, stepped through the doorway and onto the driveway. Kim following close behind. When they reached the car, Kim again held the door open for her and helped her ease into her seat. Shiga stared at the redhead as she walked through the car, grin still present on her face. Maybe this isn't such a bad setup after all. She mused as Kim sat down next to her, and the car slowly began to pull out of the driveway. Speaking of nachos, I just looked up on YouTube and found out how to make one. Yes, I have no life. How did you guys know? Kim stared blankly at the paper in front of her. She knew she should be listening to what Monique was telling her about the project, but her mind kept slipping back to more important matters, namely, where she was going to put her daughter when she was born. She'd been so busy arguing with Shiga over a name, and never considered that there wasn't an extra room for the baby. At least not at the moment. Shiga did say she wanted to move out after she gave birth, so maybe she could talk to her parents about converting the guest room into a baby room. But the only word to Shiga moved out right, which wasn't probably a good idea. So that left her with the original problem, where to put her. She could get a carriage and put it in her room for a while. That might not be so bad. Of course, she wouldn't have to deal with the midnight feedings, the diaper changing, the burping, and... Ron, KP, Kim, hello, you in there? Ron asked, waving his hand in front of her face. Kim blinked at the motion, then shook her head to snap her out of her thoughts. When she finally did focus on her surroundings, she found Ron, Monique, and Rufus staring all at her expectantly. Sorry, she apologized, feeling a little embarrassed. Guess I just spaced out for a minute. Deep space for the look of it. You, okay? Ron asked, leaning over the table to get a better look at her face. I'm fine, she just reassured him, pushed him back. I just have a lot on my mind is all. Baby issues? Monique guessed. Yeah, we finally settled on a name for her. Monique's brown eyes lit up at the fact. She pushed all the schoolwork aside and stared intently at her friend across the table. All right, schoolwork's over. Give me the details, girl! She beamed. There's not much to tell, Kim stated, still feeling slightly nervous about the whole thing. We went through a list of names, a long list, before we finally decided on a variation of our names mixed together. Uh-huh. So, what did you finally decide on? Shin. Shin? Ron asked, quite an eyebrow at the strange name. Yeah, Shin. Something wrong with that? Kim asked back, dangerous tone to her voice. I don't know, just kind of weird, don't you think? Weird? She repeated with more of a growl. I think he means unique, Monique spoke up, hoping to head off a meltdown, but in a good way. Makes a statement. Yeah, a statement. Kind of like what the kid that gets picked on. Bet Shigo came up with that name. She's kind of come up with a really weird name like that. I mean, she calls herself Shigo. What do you expect? I'll have you know, Ron, that I came up with that name, Kim stated, giving the boy a death glare that would make the devil himself cringe. So was the case with the often weak-willed Ron Stoppable. He tapped the ends of his fingers together nervously, as sweat began to pour down his face, all the while his eyes darted from left to right, looking anywhere but the hate-filled gaze in front of him. Yeah, well, I meant to say that was a great name! Perfectly normal in every way. Nothing wrong with that. Nope, not at all. Shit, gotta love that name! He backpedaled hastily. So, Ron, how's that knock-a-foot combo working out for you? When he giggled. Well, how was I supposed to know? Ron protested. You could have been a little more sensitive about it, Kim countered. Well, I mean, it's Shigo! You know, foul-tempered, going against doom, trying to kill us many times over. Shigo! Am I the only one who worries about that? Hate to say it, girl, but he does have a point, Monique said. Kim faltered for a moment before she got outside and looked between her two friends. Look, I know what she's done in the past. Believe me, I know. She muttered something particularly brutal fights she had with the pale-skinned woman. But you haven't been through this whole pregnancy. It's really changed her, and I truly believe she'll stay the same once Sin is born. By the same, do you mean the same as now, or before when she tried to kill you? The same as now. She wants to keep and raise his child. I can feel it. Are you sure you're not pulling some weird mind game on you? I mean, you have been spending a lot of time with her recently. Is that what this is all about? Kim said in astonishment, eyeing her one-time boyfriend. Are you jealous of her? I'm not jealous! Rocked Karen. I'm just concerned is all. Uh-huh. Try saying that without the jealous look in your eyes. Not jealous. You are. So not. Oh, brother. Monique and Rufus both muttered as the girl rested her chin on her hand. The mole rat simply lay down on the table. They knew exactly where this was headed. While they cared a great deal for their friends, in Rufus's case, his master, stories tired when he erupted into one of their post-relationship blowouts. It was true they handled their breakup better than most people would, and that they had been able to remain friends. But no matter how strong the friendship was, or how long they had known each other, to get back into a relationship always changed things. For the most part, they acted like they had before, but at any time the idea of either one of them spending too much time with someone else came up, it usually brought out the ex going out with someone else feelings. A scene that was never easy to watch. Knowing that they could be at this for a while, Monique pulled the notes for their project back to her and began to read them over again. Rufus walked over to the side of the table and looked at the notes as well, hoping he could provide help he knew Kim and Ron were unable to at the moment. The fighting ended their ability to concentrate, though, and Monique was about to kindly recommend they knock it off when the familiar beeping on the communicator brought her ear. Dee 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 dee! She let out a soft sigh of relief at the hope that whatever Wade was going to tell Kim would end their fight. Personally, it seemed to nose was unheard of by the bickering ex-couple. Kim! Monique said softly. That didn't work. She tried more forcefully. Kim! Still nothing. Kim! What? Snapped the redhead. You're beeping. The other girl replied calmly, pointing to her friend's pocket. Soon Kim realized the communicator was going off. She took a few deep breaths to calm herself, before she reached into her pocket and pulled out the device. What's up, Wade? She asked as the switch turned the screen on. Got a bit of hit on the site, Wade informed. Weird? How? Well, the person who sent the message wants to meet you there. Here? Kim asked, looking around the Mexican-themed restaurant. Why would they want to meet here? Actually, how do you even know I'm here? 'Cause, well, the boy stammered, rubbing the back of his neck nervously. I kinda told him you were. And why would you do that? Because they were very adamant about meeting you. They didn't want to set up another meeting place. Plus, they were already on their way. Kim quirked an eyebrow at this. Do they even know where Puerto Nacho is? Not offhand, but I sent them a digital map so they could be able to find you soon enough. Alright, thanks for the info, Wade. Guess I'll check in with you later. Right, he replied. He shut down the end of his line. With Wade gone, Kim switched off the communicator and placed it back into her pocket before she rested her head on her hand thoughtfully. What was that about? I don't know, she said in a far-off voice. I just can't imagine what's so important someone would want to meet us here. Maybe do you want to try the quesadilla special? Ron offered. She gave him a sideways glance. I doubt it. I'm just saying. She shook her head, and then her hand went back to trying to uncover this mystery. It's very rare for one of the hints to want to come to her instead of vice versa. Usually it was from some scientists who didn't want to make it public knowledge that their latest invention had been stolen. But if that was the case, then why would this person want? Whatever it was, he couldn't shake this feeling that her day was about to get a lot more interesting. And probably weird. A few short miles away from Nassau, 4 sea convertibles sped through the streets of Milton, while the boy driving kept his attention on the unfamiliar roads ahead of him. The girl next to him was so lost in her thoughts, she barely noticed the wind blowing through her shoulder-length hair, or sighted the beeping device in her right hand. So, where to now? The driver asked. He didn't get an answer. He glanced over her. Jen? Huh? The girl answered anxiously. Which way do we go? Oh, right, She looked down at the small device in her hand, which displayed a digital map of the city. A blinking red dot indicated their destination, while a moving blue dot represented the car. She studied for a moment before looking at the street. Take this next right, coming up, she told him. Right. He waited for her before speaking again. So, what's up? Oh, it's nothing, Jen replied with a defensive stare. Though it's definitely something. I've worked with you long enough to know that. What's up? Ah, don't know. I'm just nervous, I guess. You nervous? Really? This is a big deal to you? Well, this is Kim Possible we're talking about. She's, I don't know, guess you could call her a legend. I suppose, if you want to be over dramatic about it, I don't think what she does is any more important than what we do. She saves the world! Frequently! Jen sighed, staring at her partner in amazement. We saved the world a few times too, he counted. Yeah, but not like her. You're right. She gets all the credit for it, and our efforts we get, what, compared to her? Yeah, Jen sighed, sinking down to the seat. Also, another reason I'm nervous about this. As much as I respect the girl for what she's done, being compared to her is irritating. What if saying hi or something, I just go completely off of her? He seemed to think this over. Well, if you two get into a fight, I could always sell tickets. Especially if there's mud and bikinis involved. Dave! She announced. Alright, I was just kidding. Mostly. You're helpless, she said, replying, shaking her head. Maybe, but you gotta admit I'm fun. Jem simply shook her head in response and fell asleep again. Dave sighed when he caught a glimpse of the introspective look on her face. He didn't need a vision to tell him what she was thinking about. Look, just be yourself and you'll do fine, he advised. Just because she saves the world more than we do, and is more well known, doesn't make us any less special. We just operate on two different levels. I mean, come on! Will most Demonos be as tolerable as if we weren't around? Jen took a moment and think this over his advice, before a long smile crept over her face. You're right. I just called to be me and especially as a colleague. I'm sorry we really did ask help. I mean, this is one of all bad guys we're talking about, so she could use our experience. I'm just getting worked up over nothing. That's the spirit! Jen nodded and sat back in her seat to enjoy the rest of the ride. Dave was right. She was thinking about her way things too much, putting Kim too high on a pedestal. She just needed to relax and explain the situation calmly when she met up with her. If she did, then everything would turn out to be fine. At least, she hoped it would. Kim refocused her attention back on the paper laying on the table in front of her as she waited for this mystery person to show up. She figured she might as well do something productive with the time she had. The assignment called for each team to create a robot that could simply task, in which case was to compete with Rufus in a maze. No doubt Ron was behind the choosing of the objective. Still, it seemed easy enough, and Monique actually made a lot of progress with her. While it was good to see the project doing so well, what with Ron's known procrastination, she couldn't help but feel guilty about being a bigger help. Looks like it's pretty spanking so far, she complimented. Sorry I couldn't do more of the plan. Don't worry about it, Monique replied cheerfully. It wasn't so hard to come up with everything. Heck, I even got procrastinator board to help out a bit. Kim's mouth dropped at this, and she looked at Ron in utter shock. He noticed his look in his face completely contorted to an indignant look as he folded his arms across his chest. Don't give me that look, he said. I'll have you know I've done a lot on this project. Really? She asked, completely convinced. Yeah, been running time trials with Rufus to get all that. You know, dance stuff. It's been fun. Fun. The mall rat squeaked. Any remark Kim was going to make was interrupted by the sounding of a very familiar name. Kim! Kim Possible! Instantly, the girl lifted her head around and ready for herself for a fight. Apparently, the years of hearing villains shout her name in surprise triggered a Pavlovian reflex in her. She calmed down when she saw the person who shouted her name, a rather unassuming girl about her own age. She had dark, almost black hair, and was dressed in a light blue skin t-shirt. The boy next to her was dressed rather plainly, in a pair of jeans, and a red t-shirt with a brown suede jacket. She stared at them questionably as they walked over to the table. Could they really be the ones that had her head on the site? Hi, I'm the one who placed the hit on your site, the girl explained as she held out her hand. Guess so, Kim thought as he mused about what she took the offer hand. Aloud she said, So, how can I help you? Actually, I was hoping I could help you. Do you mind? The girl asked, pointing to empty spaces next to Monique. Kim motioned for them to sit down as she continued to give the girl a confused look. The request definitely got her attention as she wanted to hear more. Hey, the boy said as he slid next to Monique. Hey. She greeted back, feeling uncomfortable as cold as he was. What do you mean, you can help me? Kim asked her to both see it. Well, it's a bit of a long story. Don't know where to start, the girl replied. How about with your name? Right. Sorry. Jen Credible. Actually, here. Kim was intently as Jen fished around her pocket for something. The teen hero's guard was rising in case another girl pulled out the weapon. That's what she pulled out was much more of a surprise than any weapon. It was a business card. She stared at it for a second before taking it and looking at it. It read, quite simply, Jen Credible. Fighting the good fight. Office phone 429-555-6181. Home phone, 429-555-2655. Kim looked up at the cards to scheduling. Fighting the good fight? She questioned. Yeah, I know. I'm not too thrilled with it either. Still trying to find a good slogan, Jen explained. Not everyone can claim to do everything. Yeah, well, Kim stammered. Actually, that would look pretty good on a card, Ron mused. KP, we should... No cards, she stated. Man, no cards, no themes, no charging people. Why do I even do this? He muttered, crossing his arms over his shoulders. He noticed the stern look of disapproval Kim was giving him. I mean, other than the satisfaction that comes from helping those people who need it, of course. Kim rolled her eyes out before turning back to the other girl. In his own unique way, Ron does raise a good point. This is a business card. Do you really charge to help people? She asked. Anna, before you start thinking I'm like impossible, let me explain. Jen defeated. We only charge our walking clients. The people we go out to help out, we do free of charge. And it's not like we're charging outrageous prices like those jacks. I think it means you had a run-in with them? Oh yeah, the brunette replied with a huff. And they gave the usual cutting into their profit monitoring routine? Yep. And that little girl shouldn't be out fighting dangerous criminals. Completely patronizing. In my city, too! Sounds like them, Kim sighed. So, what did you do? I graciously let them come along one of our missions. Then they pretty much went running for the hills when they met up with the prankster. The prankster? The writer repeated. Hey, he sounds kind of fun, Ron said. Only if your definition of fun is dropping a bucket full of battery acid on someone's head. Jen countered, to which Ron and Kim both grinned. I withdraw my statement, Ron said weakly. Good, because trust me, you don't want to encourage him, Jen advised. So, is that who you fight? Kim asked. Him and a host of other costume goons. Theme villains. Oi! Give me mad scientists any day, she said before something clicked in her mind. Wait, you said you go help out people too, right? Locked. So, how do you know? Do people email you or call or what? Sometimes, yeah, but most of the time... Most of the time, that's my department. Dave spoke up, turning away from his conversation with Monique. Sorry for the late introduction, but I find it's best to leave her alone when she's on a tangent. I wasn't on a tangent. We were talking, Jen corrected. Right. Anyway, my name's Dave Sear, by name and occupation. What? I have precognitive powers. Precon 1, what's it? Ron asked. I get visits. Doesn't say painful migraines with pictures. Oh, so you can see the future, Kim surmised. Wow, wish I could do that, Lenny squealed. I'd be able to get a lead on all the good fast trends before they even hit the stores. Hey, if you want them, you can have them. They're a real, well, pain. Like a lot of pain. And you have one of these fizzes about me? Kim asked, trying to steer the conversation back on track. Yes, Kim spoke up. From what Dave told me, you and Ron are fighting what sounds like one of my villains, while some of the pale woman is trapped onto a table screaming. Chico, Kim gasped. So I was right. Alright, here's the next question. Why would you be helping her? Last I heard, you two were enemies. Oh, well, that's kind of hard to explain, the other teen hero said nervously. Chico's having Kim's baby, Ron plainly stated. Jen and Dave stared at each other in surprise, while Kim alienated between being embarrassed by the revelation and angry for Ron with barring it out so easily. Guess that would explain the bulge in her stomach then, Dave remarked with a tilt of his head. You didn't tell me that, Jen said accusingly. I thought she was just getting fat. Ew! Well, like, she go hear you say that. She kind of has a short temper. Sounds like someone else we know, Monique added, looking over to Kim. And what's that supposed to mean? Kim growled. Does you quote your hair clear thoughts? Look, we don't have time for this. If Chico might be in trouble, then I need to find out. So, what's the sits? Jen couldn't help but smile at having the girl's trademark phrase directed towards her. A smile that soon disappeared as she realized what she had to try and explain. Well, it's kind of unusual, she cautioned. I've seen giant cockroaches, mutated octopuses, monkey ninjas, doomsday devices of all kinds, been trapped to the TV, had my brain swapped with his. Kim jerked her thumb towards Ron. Bring it on. Demons, Jen simply said. Demons? The trio of friends asked again in unison. Oh god, no! This is gonna become Micah, isn't it? No. This might turn out to be good. Just because a fanfic decides to throw in demons does not incidentally mean it's a ring of death. I've read the story before, and I know it's awesome. Yep, demons. The whole visit thing really is tied to the paranormal. Dave explains. Which just adds to the fun with normal criminals and the costume psychos as well. Okay. Accepting the fact that there are such things as demons. Is that what we're dealing with here? Well, yes and no, Jen answered. From what Dave told me, it sounds like we're dealing with Pazuzu. Pazuzu? What kind of villain name is that? That is a demon name. I thought you said we weren't dealing with a demon, Kim asked, feeling slightly lost. Pazuzu is the name of a demon. The one we're talking to is just a guy in a costume who took the demon's name. However, he's tied very tightly to the occult, and uses a lot of low-level demons as his, well, I guess you could say henchmen, Jen explained. Kim blinked several times as she tried to process this new info. Even for her, it was a lot to take in. Demons did exist, and apparently some humans used them as henchmen. Okay, she could deal with that. But the way the girl explained it so calmly, and straight-faced threw her for a bit. Idly, she wondered if that was how she looked when explaining all the crazy things she'd seen and done. Wasn't important now. What was important was the fact that some madman was after Shigo and Shin, so he wasn't about to let him succeed. Okay, she finally spoke up. So you're sure this guy will go after Shigo? Yes! That's true. Wouldn't we already be on the way to the house? Ron asked Kim. Wait, you two leave together? Jen asked the redhead, looking very confused. Like I said, long story, Kim said. Sounds like one I want to hear. I mean, to get the whole pregnancy thing, and two women who used to be rivals living together, actually sounds pretty hot. The whole table turned to him for the statement. Their looks ranging from confused to disgusted to annoyed and very annoyed. What? He said defensively. So I'm the only one who thinks that would be hot. No, you're not the only one. Fine, make me the bad guy. I mean, if I could get Trixie and Twilight to get a Yahoo! Or I could get Tempest and Twilight Yahoo! Well, you two cut that out! Dave! Jen shouted as he slapped on the back of his head. Ow! They ran inside and looked apologetically at Kim. Sorry about that. He has some issues. I can see. She muttered her back to Ron. As I was about to say, Shigo isn't at home. She's at the hospital with Mom. Out in the open. Panic crossed over Kim as her mind suddenly came up with many horrible things that could go wrong. Normally, she knew Shigo could take care of herself, but as far along in her pregnancy as she was now, she wasn't so sure. Then there was her mother, who only had one missing experience. Definitely wasn't ready for something like this. Not to mention all the other innocent people in that hospital that could be hurt. Perhaps her mind knew it was a long shot, that this Pazuzu guy would try the hospital first. But another part of her mind, the part that knew villains always seemed to strike at the wrong place at the right time, was terrified. She left from her seat and started heading straight for the door. KP! Wait up! Ron called as he struggled to get out of the booth. She spun on her heel and gave an impatient glare as she stood with her hands on her hips. Come on, Ron! We gotta go! She barked. I'm coming! He muttered as he wiggled his way out. We're coming too! Jen added, sliding out the table. Fine! Kim sighed, no mood to argue. My car can hold us all. Wait. I'm not leaving my car here. Fine, we'll take both cars. Ron, you're with me. Actually, Jen piped in, hearing a glare from Kim. It might be better if I ride with you, and Ron rides with Dave. That way if we get separated, each car will have someone who knows the way. Fine, whatever, let's just go! Kim shouted, fear overriding her usual calm demeanor. See ya! Again, as the redhead was struck out of her missing focused mind, she looked over at Monique and felt the same twinge of guilt from earlier come back. She walked over to the table and gave the girl a sorry face she could muster right now. Monique. She started, but was cut off by a raised hand from said girl. Don't worry about it. I got just one of those emergency things you gotta run off and do. I'll finish up here and head home. Mark out some stuff for you to do later. Please and thank you, Kim replied. Like you said, no big. Now go save your baby. Go on, get! Kim smiled as her best female friend, and once again turned and made her way towards the door. A larger than usual crowd started to follow her, with only Jen staying behind as something occurred to her. She quickly walked back to the table and pulled out the rough blueprints of the robot. By the way, you're going to want to move this second blood here. She advised, pointing out specific places on the diagram. Hell, trust me, the girl replied before running off and joining the others. Outside, Kim already had her car running, snapping her fingers on the steering wheel impatiently as she waited for Jen. When the other girl slipped in the front passenger, she offered a sheepish look but went ignored. Kim was too focused on her goal to worry about being polite now. She had to make it to the hospital, save Shin and Shigo. She just prayed it wouldn't be too late. Shigo visited with her sweater as he walked down from the hospital's hallways. Just like the previous trip she had, the nurse failed to wipe off all the gel they used for sonograms, and now her sweater was sticking to her protruding belly. She swore he did just to annoy her. Still, it was a minor annoyance for peace of mind, knowing that her baby was doing all right. What state place she was. Now all Shigo had to do was find a phone to call Kimmy and wait for her to pick up. In the meantime, she was walking the halls between Ann Possible and Dr. Anderson, making small talk, which wasn't as annoying as he thought it would be. He should be listening to Dragon drone on about his lady invention or scheme. Ann! The voice called out. The three stopped as they entered the main reception area and looked towards the source of the voice. Not surprisingly, it was another doctor, one with brown, curly hair, a brown, gray beard, and a name tag on his coat displaying Dr. Cox. Uh-oh! Okay, men! We've been preparing ourselves for all this. We've been preparing ourselves to actually do the voice of one Dr. I'm going to insult you and be a badass while doing it, Cox. Let us prepare ourselves mentally. By the expressions on in Dr. Anderson's face, Shigo could tell this doctor wasn't their favorite people. Perry! Anne replied with strange courtesy. What do you need? I just wanted to say congratulations on becoming a grandmother so early in life. You must be very proud. The doctor said in a condescending tone, then looked towards Shigo. And you must be the lucky young lady carrying this miraculous baby. I hope it's doing well, because obviously it's going to need all the strength it can get to survive all the years of taunts it's going to endure by being the freak with two mommies. Not to mention the fact that by looking at you now, I can tell it'll be more than likely have very pale skin and have to walk around holding an umbrella like a crazed Michael Jackson wannabe. And of course, well, wouldn't carry any kind of horrible connotations at all. I can only hope that you do the wise thing and have it homeschooled. If not, well, kids can be very cruel, and I could stock up on band-aids and tissues. Of course, there's always the chance you'll end up with possible genetics here, in which case I would again stock up on band-aids, since we all know the possibles have a habit of running off into dangerous situations and have cock. He paused to take a break, and looked back towards Anne. If it does end up having your genes, I would hope it has your lustrous red hair. But then again, as far as I know, the color of waste can't be passed on. Kudos to you for picking such a lifelike looking one up, and I've been meaning to ask you for some time, where exactly did you find such a marvelous thing? Anne stared with a mixture of shock and anger for a few seconds, before making an evil smile right across her face. Something that actually caught Shigo off guard, but didn't think any possible outside the twins was capable of that look. Awesome whore, Anne replied to Perry's question. I think it was your mother. And the smile had surprised Shigo. The comment knocked her over, soon to be joined by Drs. Anderson and Cox. All three stared at the redhead woman, but only Dr. Cox had a look of amusement, while the other two people had blank look on their faces. Well, I see the cat has some claws after all, Perry mused. I look forward to facing you again in a battle of wits, but right now I have patients to attend to and interns to make cry, so if you'll excuse me. The group of them watched him walk down the hallways. It was only after he turned the corner that he finally spoke again. That guy's an ass, Dr. Anderson muttered, looking at Anne. Gotta admit, though, that was a nice comeback. No kidding, Shigo added as he broke into laughter. Didn't think anyone who raised someone like Kimmy would be able to hit so far below the belt. Well, I did have my wild moments when I was younger, Anne admitted, feeling a little embarrassed by all the attention. But let's not mention this Kimmy or the boys, all right? Any remark Shigo was about to make was cut off by the main entrance exploding. Shards of glass and metal flew into the lobby, as patients and medical staff alike took cover. Only Shigo remained standing, having been used to such things in her time as a villain. She and the others still within the lobby, watched as a small group of figures started to emerge from the cloud of smoke. The first figure to emerge surprised even the hardened Shigo. It can only be described as a humanoid creature with hard, gray skin, long arms, and four-fingered hands that ended in scythe-like yellow claws. The head sat on a small protruding stump that served for its neck, while its face sat rather low on its head, creating a large forehead. Small, yellow orbs served as eyes, placed between a peak-like snout, with two floppy ears on the side of his head. Drills dripped down from the sides of his mouth as two sets of large tusks overlapped it and flapped at the bottom lips. The beast snarled as the gathered crowds as three more of its kinds came out of the smoke, their clawed feet clacking loudly on the linoleum floor. The next sound was a terrified mass heard was similar to that of a small jet engine. It was soon accompanied by the appearance of a fifth figure that rose high above the smoke on a small vehicle that looked like a lion-headed eagle. This rider looked more human proportion-wise compared to the other creatures, but still looked demonic in his own right. His skin was sickly jaundiced yellow, but also scaled like that of a snake. The slits for his pupils only helped to reinforce his snake-like image, but their deep red backing almost seemed to favor the demon part. More demonic credence was given by the suit's heads of horns protruding from the small eyes to the eyebrow ridges in his pointed ears. The biggest difference between the rider and compatriots was the fact that he actually wore clothes, though they consisted of a stitched-up black tunic and loincloth, held together by a brown leather belt, and tattered cape and hood combination that swayed slightly from the output of the device engine. He had a toothy grin on his face while he surged through the crowd, left hand resting on the hilt of his sword at his hip. It didn't take long for a serpent-like guy to settle on Chico, standing in defensive position. "You!" he growled in a deep, gruff voice as he pointed to her. "You're coming with me." "Oh, really?" Shigo reminded. "Unless you ignore your powers, you're welcome to try." "Shigo, you can't!" Anderson whispered into her ear as he stood behind her. "Yeah, I know. Can't use my powers much. But I'll be damned if I'm going to stand here and let them take me." "Such fighting spirit. I like that." "Take her!" the demon demanded. With that, the gray demons rushed forward only to be met with a stream of green plasma energy. Unfortunately, this only succeeded in slowing two of them down. Shigo growled as she launched a furious swipes towards one that closed in on her. She raked her glowing hands across the almost rock-hard chest. She really wished that her own clawed gloves were with her. After a few more swipes, she pushed it back with a strong kick to the throat, as another came right behind her. Acting purely on instincts, he grabbed the wrist of the arm and swiped her and threw it over his shoulder, causing her to slide on once as his kicked. It took a toll on her too. However, she lost her balance and would have fallen over if not for the quick reflexes of Dr. Anderson, who pulled her back to her feet before she could even thank him. Another of the creature's backhanded and sent him flying across the room. Shigo growled again and pushed the hideous thing right into the face with a plasma charged hand. This seemed to hurt it as it stumbled backwards, holding its face and giving off a whimpering noise. She smiled, discovering the seeming weakness, and ready herself to unleash a flurry of hell on these things when a familiar cry broke her thoughts. "Anne!" She whipped her head around just in time to see one of the creatures picking up Kid's mother and throwing her out towards his master on a glider. After instinct in her body told her to run over there, it jumped through the air and intercept Mrs. Possible. But she knew physically she couldn't do that. Instead, she had to watch, helplessly as the woman was caught by the serpentine demon and held down by his left arm, while his right hand went up to her throat and planted one of his black claws against her skin. A small trickle of red already starting to flow from the cut. "She does!" he shouted, drawing Shigo's full attention. Her hands shook in final fury, and the flames around them grew more intense. She could take this Joker. She knew it! Just one shot of the flying contraption of his and he'd be down. Then she could flip over all his ugly goons, and knock him senseless before he even knew what happened. At least, that's what the old Shigo would have done. The new Shigo, the pregnant Shigo, could only stand there and feel impotent. Not only could she not perform her once famous aerial maneuvers, she was also worried about Anne's safety. For she once saw the woman as nothing more than Kimmy's precious mother. She now saw her as her one, very few friends, and a woman she respected. She had to respect anyone that could keep the great Kim Possible in line. Speaking of Kim, how would she react if she found out Shigo let her mother be killed just because she wanted last moment of glory? To say she'd be pissed would be putting it mildly. Likely she guilt-tripped the woman until the baby was born, take it away from her, and then have her friends of global justice lock her up. Oddly enough, the last part wasn't what bothered her. It was the thought of Kim being upset with her and taking her baby away. For whatever reasons, hormones, motherly instinct, or just a lapse of judgment, she couldn't stand the thought of having her baby taken away from her. No, that, more than anything, made her want to fight on. Then she noticed the look of fear in Anne's eyes and the red trail on her neck, and she knew she couldn't. At least not right now. Alright. I'll do whatever you want. Excellent, the demon growled. For now, sleep. The next thing Shiga felt was something hard striking the back of her head, then the blissful slumber of unconsciousness. She started to fall backwards, and one of the great demons scooped up her large hands and carried her over to its master. He smiled at his prize and withdrew his claw from Anne's neck, before tossing her aside like discarded trash. Anne! Dr. Anderson shouted as he ran forward to catch her. The momentum of her fall, along with the recent injury, caused her to hit the floor again when he caught her. He groaned as he hit the ground, but shrugged it off, and he immediately began to check her wound. Shiga, she whispered. Dr. Anderson looked up at the group of returners, long enough to watch Shiga be handed off to their leader, then take their leave. He started remorse as he couldn't do more to help. Looked down at Anne with sorrowful explanation. He's gone, he told her. Call Kim. Right. He then nodded, noticed the first time all the doctors and nurses standing in a daze. What the hell are you standing around for? Go check on the injured people! Move it! And have someone call Anne's daughter! The lobby erupted in a frenzy of motion after the command snapped everyone out of their funk. Anderson paid no attention, though. He kept his attention on the woman laying in his arms. She had passed out at some point, likely due to shock, but began to treat her wound in any case. Fortunately, the cut looked worse, and once it was already finished, he pulled her over to have a few inches of benches still left standing, and he stared down. He stared out at the large hole that replaced the hospital's main entrance, and sighed once again. While he wished he could have done more, he knew there was more he could have done. That's the kind of thing that Anne's daughter was supposed to handle. So where was she? Where was Kim possible?